Dear viewer, if I told you what you think about spending your summer vacation on an island, of course you would be happy and tell me this is wonderful, because you will imagine that the island is made up of beautiful trees and beaches. But the reality is that this island is not for tourism, as this island is called the Black Death Island because of the horrific events that occurred on it. Poveglia Island is an island located near the coast of Italy and close to the city of Venice. It is a small island whose area does not exceed 1 kilometer. For 1600 years, this island was completely devoid of any inhabitants until the year 421 AD. Some residents of Italy began to flee to it because of barbarian attacks, since the barbarians at that time were enemies of the Roman Empire. After the Italians fled to the island, they began to build a city on the island in order to settle on it and live in peace. They built houses and churches, and after a period of settlement, their lives became calm and beautiful. But in 1899, the island was attacked, so all the residents fled from it and left it, and the island returned deserted for a long period of time, estimated at 400 years. Until the year 1777, the authorities decided to use the island as a mental asylum until the year 1793. In this year, the Black Death spread in Europe and killed millions of people, so the authorities decided to turn the island into a large cemetery for plague victims. They turned the mental institution into a quarantine for the sick, and the patient who died was buried on the island. There are stories that say the doctors were burning the sick alive, and among the sick were children, women, and the elderly who were burned alive, and their number reached 160,000 people. You spread rumors saying that people's spirits were still wandering on the island, but despite those rumors, the asylum continued to operate until it was closed in 1814, when the French leader Napoleon Bonaparte took control of the island and turned the asylum into a weapons storehouse. The island became deserted after that until the year 1922, and the government decided to make the island a mental asylum as well. It was before. After a while, constant complaints began coming from patients that they were seeing ghosts. The doctors and nurses said that ghosts were chasing them and they were hearing the sounds of screams of unknown origin, but they were not believed by the owner of the place. Likewise, the poor patients were being tortured by the doctors, and experiments were being conducted on them like animals, and they were being tested on the medicines that were manufactured. Many of them died because of these immoral experiments. Among them was a crazy doctor who was torturing the sick woman with all the means that come to your mind, dear follower. But one day the doctor became very mad and jumped from the top of the church and died. But then rumors began that some people and sailors had spotted the crazy doctor on the island. The authorities closed the hospital in 1962, and all people became afraid to enter the island because of the rumors and the terrifying events that had occurred there. Because of that, the island became completely deserted, and from time to time, adventurers would go there to photograph videos.